How's it going, all my KidsQuest kids and moms and dads? How are you all doing on this evening? As you can see, I'm doing pretty well. Just hanging out here on our little front steps of the house. It's a pretty night. Gotta take in some fresh air after working inside all day. I know you kids are doing the same thing. You're working hard on those take-home packets and just studying and reading, even though you can't be in school. I know that's exactly what you're doing. You're all great students, and I'm sure that's how you've been enjoying your time at home. Uh, Also, I am waiting on my dinner to be finished. Um, it would have already been ready, and I probably would have already eaten if it wasn't for my mistake of when I set everything in the crock pot, I put it on low, and I was supposed to put it on high. So when Erica got home, no food was ready, so we're having to wait it out. Um, because of that, she made some little snacks for us. Who here is a fan of pizza rolls? Anybody like some pizza rolls? I do. Pizza rolls are a good snack. That's a good go-to. They're cheap. They're tasty. But when I was munching on those a minute ago, it made me flash back to when I was your age, when I was in KidsQuest, back to the fourth grade. And when I was in fourth grade, I had a good buddy named John Zetterberg. And John was a good friend of mine, great kid, and he invited me over to his home for probably his birthday. And I remember going to his house, and we, with his whole family for his birthday, we gathered around and watched a movie, but they also cooked pizza rolls for everybody. And that was the first time I had ever had them, and I thought it was the best thing ever. I mean, it's like a pizza, but it's a roll. I mean, genius. For a 9-year-old, I mean, goodness, that's all I needed. But it was a good time, and I just remember recalling just how welcomed I was by his parents and his family in general. John was one of 5 kids. He had a large family, and they didn't live in a mansion or anything. It wasn't like I was blown away by everything, but they blew me away with how nice they were. They treated me like I was a part of their family. And I didn't live there, I didn't grow up there, but I felt like I did whenever I came to visit. And I always enjoyed going over and hanging out with John and his family. But that made me think about our KidsQuest services that we've got. I know we've all been missing those. It's not fun not being able to gather together, and even though we've had these videos, that's been great for us to stay connected, but it's not quite the same. But that memory made me think about how can we make our KidsQuest time together more welcoming? How can we get everyone to have that same feeling that I had going to John's, that when you guys come into our KidsQuest class? And I know Erica and I, we want to make sure each of you feel comfortable, feel welcome, and enjoy that time. But we can't do all of that ourselves. A lot of that comes from you guys. And I want to challenge you all to think about this while we've got this time at home and prepare for when we go back. How can I make my brothers and sisters in class feel welcome? And how can I especially help people who come that are new to our class feel welcome and loved? And that's just to simply treat each other with kindness and respect and with love. Jesus told us, I mean, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart and to love your neighbor as yourself. And your neighbors are those that are in class with you. That's an example of your neighbor. And I want all of us to be able to create that environment. And I know a lot of times, and I'm not a dummy, I was in KidsQuest too. That can be a difficult thing to do because people are different. You don't get along with everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say all of you guys should be best friends and do everything together, because that's just, a lot of times it takes growing together. When I was in KidsQuest, I didn't get along with everybody, believe it or not. It took some time growing and for us getting to experience classes together and grow up together that we got close. And it made me think to our lesson that we talked about last week. Who was the main focus on Sunday? It was a man whose name was changed. His old name started with an S. That's right, Saul. His name was changed to Paul, good job. And who was it that went and prayed for him? His name started with an A. All right, I heard it there. His name was Ananias. So, if you think you might be different from those in KidsQuest and you don't feel like you can become buddies with them, think about Ananias, okay? God asked him to go and pray for Saul, okay? And remember, Ananias did not like Saul because Saul killed Ananias' people. Saul persecuted Christians, and Ananias was a Christian. So they could not have been any more different. But Ananias obeyed God, and he went and prayed for Saul, and God healed him, and he became Paul, and the rest is history. But it's because Ananias chose to put down his own flesh and instinct to stay away from that person and obeyed God and did the right thing. And I'm sure they had a relationship after that. So I'm challenging you guys to not just come back to KidsQuest and talk to the same kids that you always talk to. Don't just hang out with those that you get along with all the time, but talk to everyone, especially the people you didn't have a relationship with before we were quarantined. Make new relationships, make new friendships, make everyone feel welcome and at home. And then people are going to come visit KidsQuest, and they're going to see that, and they're going to feel that, and they're going to want to be a part of everything we do and never want to miss a service or an activity. So that's my brief, quick challenge for you. And when this is all over and it's all safe, invite someone over to your house like John invited me. Share some pizza rolls with them. Treat them with love and respect, because that is what ultimately what we're called to do. And that's how we're going to win people. But I love you guys. I miss you all so much. I hope you enjoy your evening together, and I'm trying to smell. I hope our slow cooking dinner is ready because I'm starving. But I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good evening.